Good evening, sports fans, and welcome to this edition of Sports for Wednesday, the 5th of October. I am Curtis Morton. In our headlines, everything is pretty much set for the start of the primary schools football tournament. And in our feature for this evening, Peter Adrian speaks out on West Indies cricket issues. We'll take this break and I'll be right back.
SKN Moves Nevis chapter is back with the biggest calendar event this autumn. It's a Nevis Knockout, public versus private sector employees at the Fit Wellness Grounds. Starts Saturday the 17th of September and concludes on Saturday the 8th of October. 4 consecutive Saturday knockout rounds. Who will produce the fastest time finish on an obstacle course? Is this your speed? We are recruiting 32 persons to take part in this adrenaline rush event. Registration is $20 each. On or before deadline, Friday the 9th of September 2022. This event is sponsored by NIA and MASA. For further information, contact Sheila James on 469-8010. It's a Nevis Knockout.
Well, I'm back and we start with football. On the local scene, primary schools football tournament set to commence later this month, and everything is very much ready. We take in this. So now we have the equipment and we have the whistles. The referees will be blowing those whistles shortly, game time. But we have an update now from Mr. Fraser and Mr. Claxton as regards what's going on with the primary school football league.
Okay, good morning again, Mr. Morton. And I must say that all schools have been training, they have been in training, they have been practicing. The coaches are extra hyped, they're excited. I have also been seeing little clips, short videos of training sessions. Some schools were able to have practice matches, so I definitely believe that this upcoming tournament should be a great one.
And what about the schedule, or just remind the folks about the start of the tournament and the scheduling?
Okay, so the tournament is scheduled to commence on October 19th with opening ceremony at the VOJN Playfield, starting at 12:30 p.m. We're going to have a number of dignitaries present on the day. As my colleague Nicola would have said, the teams are very excited. It has been 2 years since we have had primary school football, so you can sense the enthusiasm as the teams prepare for the tournament. As it relates to the schedule on the opening day, Ms. Fraser will tell you about that.
Yes, Nicola, tell us about the schedule for the opening day.
Okay, thank you again. As Mr. Claxton would have indicated, the opening ceremony for the tournament would be at 12:30 p.m. at the VOJN playing field, and there would also be 4 games on that day. The first 2 games begin at 1:30 and the other games begin at 2:30. So there are some excitement after the opening ceremony on that day.
Could you name the schools that will be participating in those 4 games?
For those 4 games, we'll have Ivor Walters Primary up against VOJN, Nevis Academy up against JLPS, St. James Primary School up against Maud Cross Prep, and Charleston Primary up against Montessori.
Sounds very exciting. I get the impression with 2 games going on at the same time that the VOJN playing field would have split areas for 2 games at the same time?
Yes, so every match day we will have 2 games being played at the same time, and this is mainly due to time constraints. As you know, we have to factor in exams and all of that. So, but we want the students to play football. So every match day there will be 2 games at a time, and there will be 4 games each match day.
Okay. Well, thank you guys so much, and so we look forward to you folks coming out and supporting the children. They're all hyped. Coaches are hyped. Parents are hyped. It's going to be a wonderful tournament. Thank you, guys. We go to break, and when I come back, we'll have our feature for this evening.
SKN Moves Nevis chapter is back with the biggest calendar event this autumn. It's a Nevis Knockout, public versus private sector employees at the Fit Wellness Grounds. Starts Saturday the 17th of September and concludes on Saturday the 8th of October. 4 consecutive Saturday knockout rounds. Who will produce the fastest time finish on an obstacle course? Is this your speed? We are recruiting 32 persons to take part in this adrenaline rush event. Registration is $20 each on or before deadline Friday the 9th of September 2022. This event is sponsored by NIA and MASA. For further information, contact Sheila Jones on 469-8010. It's a Nevis knockout.
Well, I'm back, and tonight cricket is in the spotlight. On Tuesday, Peter Adrian, renowned cricket commentator and sports analyst, journeyed to Nevis just for a short period, but we caught up with him and he spoke on some serious issues pertaining to West Indies cricket. Let's take in this. I'm with Peter Adrian, renowned sports journalist.
Well, it is very lamentable that today in 2022, West Indies, of all teams, and that have been done before, they have had to qualify before, have to qualify for a world championship. Now, it speaks to the decline of our cricket. And for the upcoming tournament, the grouping, they will have to play with Zimbabwe, Scotland, and Ireland. Now, one thing that is noticeable, I have not seen much of Zimbabwe, but I have seen Scotland and Ireland. Those cricketing franchise or nations have really grown by leaps and bounds. In fact, I saw them against New Zealand. And even if it was 300 ball ODI, those guys posted 300 runs easily. And when we think of Ireland, Ireland have given us a very rough time. So I think likely they should be able to beat Zimbabwe. I expect them to beat Scotland, and the best of two in each of the two groups will go up. So I expect, perhaps speaking as a West Indian, the probability is they're likely to go up.
And how far do you think they'll get?
Well, once you talk about the tournament itself, then the ball game changes. It changes because, let me simply draw a reference. Let us draw just what happened recently, India and Africa. Now, the same is for England, for New Zealand, Australia, etc. Because there is a new approach to T20 that those international teams have adopted. I say right now, they are playing cricket the West Indies way. And we are playing cricket the English way. We prod, a lot of dot balls and so on. We can't play spin. You know what the fellas are doing? Going back to India and South Africa. Scoring 200 was like a joke in T20. So I expect, therefore, in this World Cup, 200 is going to be simply a small benchmark. But there will be many scores over 200. West Indies hardly can put up 150. I think they're not going to go very far. I give them, I think the probability is very low that they will pass through the first round.
Okay, final question. The Hetmeyer issue. Here he is, given a ticket to leave on Saturday. He says he cannot leave. He has family issues. They change the flight. They say flight is available on Monday. Then on Monday morning, he sends a message, I can't catch that flight either. And so they dropped him and replaced him with Sharma Brooks. Your thoughts on that?
I think obviously the decision reflects a certain trend that they have had in terms of management, if you want, labor and capital with Hetmeyer. In other words, this reflects not simply the decision to remove him from the team, doesn't simply reflect what happened presently. That is, he missed the first flight and he missed the second one and he's going to be late for the two practice T20 in Australia. Because the point that I am making is simply that, having chosen Sharma Brooks, but Sharma Brooks is going to is going to miss the practice matches just the same. But both of them, either Shamrock Brooks or Hetmyer, would have been there for the qualifier. So now when you think of Hetmyer, in fact my wife said that and I like that. Where is the World Cup, West Indies World Cup without Hetmyer? Why would a young promising boy like that, a boy who have been doing so well in the IPL, be punished even if he misbehaved by removing him, informing the ICC to remove him for the World Cup? I would have let him go and punish him when he comes back. Now I think the decision has further implication. I think it has policy implication. It has implication for the development of West Indies cricket. For example, let's just take Guyana. The president and ExxonMobil have come into a special initiative using cricket to improve the attractiveness of Guyana. And what they have done, they say, okay, we know our people love cricket, and they will come out. Look, we are going to buy in, we are going to forward invest into the CPL. So they have forward invested in CPL 222, 223, 224, where they are going to keep the business end, the most expensive end. Now, why are they doing that? Because they want to sell Guyana to the world. Because from those, so what CPL does for us is priceless, you know. In other words, it is the attractiveness. People will see Guyana. They will learn about Guyana. They will be attracted to Guyana. People will want to come and invest in Guyana. People want to travel to Guyana. People want to begin to see Guyanese differently. They're not simply a boat people, but they are people of resources. Hetmyer is the global symbol. He's the global symbol. So by doing that, you are now preventing Guyana from being showcased at the World Cup. I think the president of Guyana and the rest of them and the people are not going to take it kindly. I think going beyond the director of cricket, Jimmy Adams, and the selector, so Desmond Haynes, I think it's bigger than that. Because the issue is going to be, in other words, how you have treated Guyana, and whether Guyana is being treated fairly. So even if the issue is not simply an issue of right and wrong and what he did and whether it was right, the issue is, it is the severity of the punishment and the implication, the message you are sending. You are saying perhaps, Hetmyer no more West Indies cricket for you, you know. You say Guyana, in spite of all the investment that you have made, all the national sacrifices that you have made, we don't care about it. That's my view. But I believe down the road, we are going to hear much more on the policy issue and the political side and the implication.
Well, that's our package for this evening. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night.